Greetings and salutations, my Stitchy friends. How is everyone this morning? So good, I hope. So good. Hey, I have lots of stuff to talk to. Good morning, Brenda. How are you this morning? I hope all is well with you in your corner. Hey, so if you're brand new here, if you would like, follow, and subscribe, and comment, and share, and all the things for Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, that would be fabulous. And then ask to join our private Facebook groups, Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group, and this one right here, Stitch the States Facebook group with Ann Corbiere-Scott Facebook group. So yes, can you believe I am still stitching away on North Dakota? I am telling you, I'm just in a crazy slump, I guess. You know how sometimes you read really fast, like you can read a book in like a couple of days, and other times it could take you a month? That's kind of how stitching has been for me. And I don't know why. I usually stitch in the evenings, and sometimes I just, like, days go by and I haven't even taken it out. And I don't know. Anyway, here I am. But I know that I can always come back here and get my little half hour of stitching in and chat with my friends, you know. So this week, I posted question of the day. Are you ready for it? It's a good one. What movie makes you laugh no matter how many times you watch it? Like that every time you watch it, it's still funny. I'll tell you mine. Christmas Vacation. I love that movie. I love that movie. I love that movie. Christmas Vacation. My whole family, we can recite it. We can say one word and we all know what we're talking about. I love that. So think about that. What movie makes you laugh no matter how many times you've seen it? So I saw a story. You know I love stories. So this is a good one to just kind of ponder this morning. So I saw a story that a granddaughter wrote who lost her grandmother today. And she said, you know, she was a fun grandmother and taught her granddaughter some great life lessons, like the power of saying hello, even to strangers, that, you know, how just the power of saying hello, and how sometimes that can, maybe that's the only smile that person gets in the day. You just never know, right? And it just makes you feel nice to say hello. It does me. Anyway, what she found out much later in her life, like she got to go spend weekends with her grandmother and, you know, had a lifetime of great memories. But later on in life, she found out that grandmother was not a good mom. And so she realized that, you know, those hard lessons in life are crazy, aren't they? I think sometimes when someone loses their shine, that's always kind of a crazy, mixed up feeling, you know? Anyway, so she was struggling with this complicated family story, you know, and that's just it, right? The families are messy. Families are messy, no matter whose family it is, no matter, you know what I mean? Families are messy. Anyway, so in the end, she, through all those complicated feelings, she said that she found that she was thankful for one thing from that grandmother, and it was that she gave her her mom. I loved that. I loved that. It's, I thought that it was a good way to start to digest all those feelings. You know what I mean? And I think it's so important that we give ourselves the grace to just digest the feelings. I think just feel those feelings. I think sometimes we think we need to push them aside, but I have found that anytime I push feelings aside, guess what? They come bubbling back. Usually in full force. Way stronger than if I would have just dealt with it. Or like at the most inopportune time. Anyway, that's the story I have to tell. I loved that story. So I did talk about, last week, I talked about Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, that is a good one. That is a good one. I know sometimes you need a little minute to ponder, don't you think? And I think giving yourself grace for that is a good thing too. Right? I can't believe I'm not done with North Dakota. Seriously. I feel like I've been stitching this one forever. Oh, so anyway, do you remember I said that I would talk about hoops? So I thought that I would share the hoops that I have at my house. But I thought that I could put, so in my newsletter, so each Friday I send out a newsletter. And it just has all kinds of stuff in it. Artsy, stitchy information or inspiration or I don't know, whatever. So if you have not signed up for my newsletter, you might sign up now. There's a sign up post right above this post to sign up for my newsletter. And this week, so oftentimes I have 101 information, like I have I've done paintbrush 101, like all kinds of information about a paintbrush. I've had colored pencil 101. What was the one I just did last week? I just did another 101. But this week I was thinking, it'll come back to me. But this week I was thinking, so be sure to sign up for my newsletter this week, because this week I will put hoops, embroidery hoops 101. And I'll just put all manner of information. Almost there. So I will talk about the different hoops that I have and that I have used. Yes, I like clover hoops too, Brenda. Hi, Beth. Good morning. So I'm going to finish this E, and then I will show you the hoops that I have. And we can talk about them a bit. But I would love it if you would sign up for my newsletter, so then I can put all of the hoop 101, so you can get the hoop 101 information. And you never know, it could go on to hoop 102. Who knows? I just like to have information like that all in one spot. So if you know that it'll be in a newsletter, then you know. That's easier than me trying to say it all. And I am a visual learner. I've figured out in my life, I do much better seeing it. If it is written down, I can absorb that information so much better than if someone tells me. Like, I was never good in college in lecture classes. That was always, like, that's a way harder way for me to absorb information. Anyway, okay, so let's talk hoops. So this hoop I think I told you guys already that I got this hoop when I was in see, this is this side up. When I was in Canada, maybe, well, it was at a Joann's, so it could have been in Maine, because we went from Maine to Canada. Anyway, most often I use a wooden hoop. And the reason that I use a wooden hoop is because it's what I grew up with. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no other reason, really. I like the ones where you can play with the tension, right? Depending on the thickness of your fabric, etc., etc. I have this, it's not really a hoop, but it's these, I used this a lot when I did cross stitch, and it's called a Q-snap, right? So it all comes apart like that, right? And then I can show you the cross stitch that was on here. So I was stitching this Jewish design because my husband, his family is Jewish. Right? So then you just snap it over the fabric, right? Snap, bottom and top. So this would work for embroidery too. And the thing that I remember why I loved this so much, there we go, is that it was easy to hold. Like it was kind of ergonomic before ergonomic was a thing. It felt good in my hand. Anyway, so that is that. And if you want to see what the this million-year-old 1994 cross stitch magazine, here's the pattern. Here's what it's going to look like in the end. And it's called Mizrach. That's what this is called. And it is, it means east. And so it's a decoration hung on the eastern wall of a home or synagogue to indicate the preferred orientation for prayer. Jews always pray to the east. And that information's coming from a Catholic girl. Anyway, I remember I loved this, and I don't know why I'm not using it anymore. But you know what? I'm feeling like, number one, I really need to finish this. And number two, I need to use this again. Okay, so then here's a couple of other hoops that I have. So I have this springy kind that, let's see, I have something that I can put on. I have two patterns in here, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I have this one. Let's see. I noticed that some people, even with a hoop, there we go. Right? So there's this kind. And some people even use, what do they do with that? Wooden hoop. There we go. Some people even use a wooden hoop kind of this way, where they have this on the top and this on the bottom. So they're kind of no. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah. So they're stitching kind of in a hole. I don't really like that, but some people do it that way. Tighten. Because the purpose, see, like this feels really complicated to me, but lots of people do it this way. I think it's all kind of personal preference, you know? There's a whole school of thought about where, see, do you see why I hate this? It just feels complicated. And maybe it feels complicated because it doesn't feel natural to me, because I've been embroidering the other way forever and a day. But then I found this, look at this hoop. So look at so this, it's called a nurge. Okay, so I'll loosen it there, right? Until there, by loosening, then look at that pops out there, right? This is so crazy. And this pops on here. I'm going to push it together at the top and then twist down. Right, and then start straightening out your fabric. Tight. Anyway, there are lots of different hoops, and I think it doesn't really matter which one you use. What matters is that it's comfortable for you and that it supplies tension for your fabric. That's what a hoop is supposed to be. The comfort in your hand is kind of secondary to tension, providing tension in your fabric. So I hope that all of that, I know that was just kind of a quick overview, but I hope that this is kind of interesting because it's such a different shape, right? This and the square, I'm going to play with those. So maybe I will stitch Nebraska next on this hoop, and then I will try and do, well, I could do Oregon on this hoop, and this, I presume, will kind of go toward the top so that it's, oh, I was going to say, there's this whole school of thought about where the twisty, that's not what it's called, but you know what I'm saying, where this, the tension tightener screw, where it should go if you're right-handed and where it should go if you're left-handed. So I'll write about that in the Hoop 101 information too. So, I mean, there's just, who knew such a simple little tool could have so many ins and outs. Anyway, so there, and there. So we talked about 5 today, and I bet there's way more out there. But that kind of gives you a base of information, I think. That. Oh, I know I have a lot of French knots to do. So let's get that golden thread out. I have that one and this one. And then I have this that I thought might be pretty for the word North Dakota, and I think I'm going to do a double up here so it's nice and bold, pretty. But I'm thinking for the, I have 2 shades of kind of orangey gold, so I thought that might be cool if I do 2 tones in there. I have a long thread that got a little loose, so I need to take a second to wrap that up. So, so I hope that everybody will sign up for the newsletter. Oh, so Beth, you need to tell me, or to share with us, I should say, what movie still makes you laugh, even though you've seen it a million times. You know what so when I was digging around in some old projects, I found these old crazy scissors. Look, they fold. Look at that. I love that. I have these fancy Ginger ones, and they are... So, Brenda, above this post of this video, there's a post in this group, and it says MailChimp. That's the distributor that sends out my newsletter. So you're just going to click that and fill out the information, and then you'll get in. You'll be signed up for my newsletter. And then I'll put all the hoop information. Da, 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 da. I have so many scissors. I have so many embroidery scissors. Like crazy little crappy ones that were in kits. Do you know what I mean? So I have all these circles. Wouldn't it be cool if I did, I could do, what if I stitched around each of these circles? I don't know. I'm going to try it. And then did a French knot in the center. Maybe did the circles in one color of yellow, and then the French knot in another. I don't know. Let's just see how that looks. I just love the dimension that a French knot gives. It just automatically gives just that boost in form to the stitched image. I love that. So my niece and nephew, my great niece and nephew, are visiting this week from Missouri. And so they're visiting me next week. So I will not be doing a Stitchalong next Wednesday. Just so you know. But I'll be back the following week. Kind of liking these circles, you guys. That's kind of making me happy. That yellow looks so pretty next to that pink, doesn't it? Now I don't know about the French knots. I think I might have to ponder it a bit. Beth, what kind of, I was just thinking, what kind of hoop are you using? Be curious to know. I think this pink one might be a clover, but now I don't remember because I threw the packaging away back when I was, in the back seat of a Suburban. So I don't know. And can you believe a person who has 9 million hoops had none on vacation? I took everything with me, but not my hoop. So dumb. But then I wouldn't have this pretty pink one. That's kind of making me happy. But I automatically assumed I would do French knots, but now I'm like, I'm kind of liking the, well, Beth, guess what? That happens too. I always take more to do than I think I'll do. But what if you brought nothing? If you brought nothing, then you'd be mad that you didn't have anything. Because then, somehow you'd have all this time or something. I'm really liking that. So now I don't know what I want to do. So where are you on vacation, Beth? That it's raining. Holy smokes. We are like at the beginning of like the very, very beginning of monsoon season. So we've been getting lots of dust storms, but no rain, so to speak. Like in here, like in town where I live. There's been rain on the outskirts of town, certainly. But just, oh my gosh, Traverse City. That's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. It is just the cherry capital of the, I think the cherry capital of the world. Have you read any Viola Shipman books, Beth? So Viola, and do you know who Viola Shipman is? Viola Shipman is a guy named Wade Rouse, and he uses the pseudonym Viola Shipman because that was his grandmother's name. And he writes beautiful stories that almost always take place on the western coast of the Lower Peninsula, like Traverse City, that whole, give them a try. They're the loveliest stories. They're easy to listen to. I usually listen to them on audio because then I can draw while I'm listening to a story. Told you, I love a story. Anyway, give Viola Shipman a try. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. My friend Keely and I are going on a Viola Shipman tour in September. So Keely lives in Chicago, and I'm going to fly into Chicago, and then we're going to go up the coast and visit all kinds of places that are talked about, like where the stories take place in the Viola Shipman stories. Like he talks about Leland, that there's a stone called Leland Blue that growing up in Michigan, I never heard of that stone, Leland Blue. I mean, I certainly heard of other Michigan beach rocks and beach stones. Petoskey's, which are so tricky to find, But anyway, one of the books that I read talked about this stone called Leland Blue. So now we have to go find some piece of jewelry or something with Leland Blue stone in it. I was just thinking of someplace else. Like I'll put a link in here after class about to Viola Shipman. Oh my gosh, he's just a champion for Michigan, and I'm telling you, you'll love it. You'll love it, love it, love it. He's amazing. Anyway, and sign up for the newsletter for Hoop 101. You will. I'm telling you. His stories are so easy to read, and he just has a really nice flow. You know how some authors have a nice flow. He's very easy to read and listen to. Anyway, remember there will not be a Stitchalong next week, but then I'll be right back. Hopefully, I'm on a different state by then. I am finishing up a new series for Adorn It that I can't wait to share with everybody. I'll give you a big fat hint. It's more flowers, but different. Anyway, go out and make it a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. And I will see you not next Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. So, have yourself a wonderful rest of the week, and look for the newsletter on Friday. Talk to you all soon. Bye.